Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you what's in our morning basket and what's in our morning menus for the month of January. So hey, my name is Adrian and I love talking all things homeschool, family life, and motherhood. So I hope that you will join me and follow along on our homeschool journey. For the month of January, I'm really trying to start off being consistent. That was my number one goal in my last video for the 2023 year, especially in homeschooling. It is a super big struggle for me. So I think that my head, doing morning basket is a way to be consistent, to consistently be in God's word and focusing on our hymn study, which is my favorite, doing those things that are in our morning menu, as well as just reading some good books together. I'm going to show you my morning menus first, and then I will show you some things that we use every day in our homeschool, well, 4 days a week in our homeschool. And then I'm going to share with you just some fun winter books. I will leave a blog post down below with all the links for things that I'm sharing with you today, or at least the book list that I'm sharing with you today. I will share my winter books, and then I will also show you just a few library books that we picked up that go with our history topic this month. So if those things sound interesting, then stick around because I'm gonna start pulling out.
Hey guys, so as I'm sitting editing this video, I realized that my hair looks like I haven't brushed my hair in days. I don't know what happened in this video with my crazy hair, and something about the lighting was just off. It goes from bright to a little darker. So I'm just going to apologize, and I'm not going to refilm it, but hopefully you guys can still watch the video and it's still enjoyable enough with my crazy hair and funky light. So I hope you enjoy, and let me know down in the comments how bad is it, but I hope you enjoy.
The first thing I have here is our morning menu. So we just put them in a menu from Amazon, and I switch out the pages every month, maybe two. This month I joined the intentional homeschooling membership, so I got her January menu pages, and we are trying those out. So the first few pages are from Chantel at Intentional Homeschooling, and they are beautiful and fun. In fact, we just did this little thing here today where it says a word, a color word, but it's written in a different color. So for example, this word says black, but it's written in red ink, and you have to say the color of each word without reading the word, and it was so fun. But she has fun things in here like poems, famous birthdays, some map work. She has different puzzles and artwork and different historical events. These are really neat, and so far we're really enjoying these. And then the next few are our typical menu pages. We like to do a hymn every month, and this month it is This Is My Father's World. This is a sheet I just created in Canva, and I will link the blog post down below that will have the links to all of these things. I do have a link for these pages for free if you would like them. So This Is My Father's World. And then our Bible memory work, we're going to do Hebrews 11:6 and Psalm 100:1-2. So these two pages I will link down below if you would like to use them as well. And then we're gonna keep going through the books of the Bible. We like to read through these, and then we have a song that goes with it. And then we will talk about the 10 Commandments. And I have this wonderful sheet here that is the I feel and the truth. So you talk about how you feel, and then the truth from the Bible, what God says. And we haven't been so good about doing it yet this month. I hope to get back to it because this is really just good conversation starters, and to always pray about our emotions and just give them to God. So we have really been loving this, and I need to get back to it. So those are our menus. I have one for myself and each of my kids, and we will do this 4 days a week. Something to go with that is Hymns for a Kid's Heart. I got this at a library sale where it was, I think it was a bag of books for $1, so pennies on the dollar for this book. It's by Focus on the Family, and this is what we're using for our hymn study. This is where I get our hymns, and it's pretty wonderful. And so it has hymns about God, hymns of truth from the Bible, hymns about Christian living, and hymns of prayer for our country. So we're on the last hymn of hymns about God. And in each section, it will have a little story about who wrote the song or when it was written, and then the author, the author will write a little story as well, and then you have the lyrics and a prayer and a Bible verse for each hymn. And so that's what we've been using for our hymn study. So this goes in our morning basket. Okay, two other things we will use every day is theology. This is what we've been doing for our Bible study. Typically we do this at breakfast. I'm really trying to be consistent in this, to do it at breakfast. I find that if I don't get it done at breakfast, then one, our day just doesn't start off right because we're not in God's word first. And two, I find that it really makes our morning basket time so much longer, and I drop other things to fit this in. So I am doing this at breakfast, and then we also are doing Sing a Song of Seasons. We'll just do one poem a day. This book is gorgeous, and my kids have really been enjoying that. Okay, a few other things that are just there for every day is our Tuttle Twins book. We have been trying to read this Tuttle Twins book, I think, since November. But life got busy with the holidays and Christmas schooling and vacation and just all the chaos of the holiday season. So we are going to finish this book, and I will probably start the next book in the middle of this month. But the goal is to at least finish this book. We've really been enjoying these, and I would like to finish this one. So Tuttle Twins, and then the complete book of Flower Fairies. This was my daughter's birthday gift, and I would like to just read some of this sometimes. Now, this isn't something that we're going to do every day, but I would like to pull this out and read some of the winter ones. So it is in my morning basket, so I have to look at it every day and make the choice whether or not to read it. Another one of my goals in my past video was to focus more on preschool. I had bought the Gentle and Classical preschool program for my then 2-year-old. She just turned 3 in November, and my plan was to do it over 2 years, just to be very gentle and follow her lead, and she just wasn't quite ready, but she's been wanting to learn her letters. She will ask you how to read things, and so we are going to start with that again. And as I wrestled with how to implement it and what to focus on, this is what I come up with, and I do it in the morning. So I'm going to show you here. She has her own menu. The only thing that's the same is the cover. The rest of it is all preschool. So I pulled some Gentle and Classical preschool pages in here. We talk about her name and her age and how she's feeling. And then we will talk about the days of the week and the months. We have songs that go with these, and she loves it. She's really been into this. And then we also talk about the weather, which she loves. She loves to point to the pictures, and she even can tell you whether it's hot or cold or what the weather's like. And then I just pulled some fun printables for the rainbow, the ABCs, and, oh, I went the wrong way, and her numbers. So these are all random pages. I'm not sure if I can link all of them, but I will at least link the Gentle and Classical preschool program for you. And then to go along with that, I just pulled out her book for this week that we're on, and it is Our Moon. So we will focus on just reading the book if she wants to, and not pushing it if she doesn't. If she says, Mommy, I don't want to read that, then I'm not going to push it because it's not a big deal. But we will try to read the book and then talk about the letter for the book. So this is the letter O, and we would just talk about the letter sound and look at the page in the preschool morning binder. So that is this right here, and it has some letter sheets, it has shapes and colors, and it has some math sheets in the back as well. So we will just be doing simple things like this if she's up for it. So we are just doing the book and focusing on the letter, and then a little bit of colors and shapes and number recognition. And that's as simple as I'm going to do, and the rest of the program we can do next year. The only other thing I have for my preschooler is this little My Very Own Bible book. I believe we got this in the hospital with one of my babies. I'm not even sure which one, but it is very, very little stories. Let me show you. So this is just one page, and it's about Adam and Eve. And so far we've done it like twice, and she likes it. She likes to look at the pictures and point things out, and we just talk about very simple things. This is Adam and Eve, and we read the little story. I just want her to start getting those Bible stories, but her attention span isn't there for a typical devotional yet, even one that is for preschoolers and toddlers. She's just not ready yet. So we're gonna try this just to be talking about God with her. And that's it for preschool. Okay, so the only other book I have that we are going to keep in there for this month is called Insecticides, and I got this at a library sale, and it is just funky. I don't know how else to describe it, but it is all poems about insects, and all of the artwork is funky. I think my kids are gonna love this. But in our Under the Home Science, we are talking about insects. So I'm going to be looking in here and seeing if there are any poems about the insects that we're learning about each week. And I thought that would just be a fun addition to that program. And we'll just pull from our morning basket whenever we need that. Okay, so next, the other goal that I had was to focus on using Well-Educated Heart, or Libraries of Hope. I don't know, you've probably heard it both ways if you've heard of this website. I want to use their resources in our homeschool this year. I really want to focus on it. I have gone back and forth on what to do. I have just kind of watched the Well-Educated Heart from the sidelines, and I really want to dive into it. So the history topics that we have chosen for this month are to focus on Lafayette for American history, and for world history in their rotation is to focus on France. And so I have a few books to do that. I will do a more in-depth video on that, the next video coming out. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned, go ahead and subscribe so that you will see that video coming out hopefully next week. But the books that I have to do that, the only book I had for France was Madeline. My original plan was to do 5 in a row, and so I do have the manual, and we'll just do the 5 in a row unit for Madeline to focus on France some as one of our books. We will also be using the Forgotten Classic books about France, and I will tell you more about that later. But this is what I have in our morning basket because it's a picture book, and I like to keep our picture books in our morning basket. The other few things that I have, if we want to get to them, or if my older child wants to read more, is this George Washington book and Sam Adams, the boy who became father of the American Revolution. You just can't talk about this time in history without these two guys. And then we went to the library and I picked up a few more books. So I got Childhood of Famous Americans, John Adams. So I don't know if we'll get to this, but I was just curious. Maybe I'll just read it for myself. I don't know. And then I got this one. This is If You Were a Kid During the American Revolution. This is a cute book. It's very simple. It's not very detailed, but it really held my kids' attention. It's just a little story about these two kids, what would happen if they were in the revolution. And then on the sides here, it gives little details and facts. So it's not the best book. I wouldn't purchase this, but it's great from the library. The Boston Tea Party. This book has beautiful pictures, but I wasn't a super big fan of the text. We just read this yesterday. It almost was a little textbooky, kind of dry facts and dates, but the images are beautiful, so if nothing else. I also grabbed, this is Graphic Library, the Boston Tea Party. My oldest son has been asking for comic books, and so this is in a graphic novel style. And I thought maybe he would like that, and it would be a fun way for him to read about history without me reading it to him. I also picked up You Wouldn't Want to Be at the Boston Tea Party. We did a lot of these last year, and they were pretty fun, and so this, if we get to it, I think would be really fun. And lastly, we got a picture book of Paul Revere. We have one of these for Ben Franklin, and they're pretty great. So I grabbed this because, again, talking about the American Revolution, you've got to talk about Paul Revere. So these are ones, if we get to it, it would be lovely, but they're not top priority, but I do keep them in our morning basket. Okay. And lastly, I thought it'd be fun just to show you some winter picture books. So for the first week of January, instead of jumping back into our full curriculum and all the crazy details, I decided that we were going to do a variation of what Jessica at the Waldock Way does with a book and a game a day challenge. I took that and we did, for the first week, a book and a game a day, but we also did the Bible and an activity. So I pulled out all of my winter books and we played some games and read some books, and it was really fun. And I've also taken those books now that we have come through our first week. We are on our second week of January, and I took all of those winter books and I put them in a basket so the kids can look through them all month. So I will show you those. Before I share more of these books with you, I just want to say that I don't ever want you to feel obligated to buy these books or pressured to buy these books or whatever books that I'm showing you or you see on other YouTubers or bloggers or I don't know, social media, the videos and the blogs and the pictures that they're showing you of books, I don't want you to feel like you have to buy these specific books. These are books that I have picked up at library sales, at garage sales, thrift sales, little free libraries. I have been collecting these for years, and these are just the ones that I've picked up. I don't think that these are necessarily the best ever, the be all end all, but this is what I have, and I thought that I would just share these with you so that you could get an idea, or maybe you see one that really interests you. And if it's not in your budget to go buy new books, don't do it. Don't do it. Check your library, see if your friends have books you can borrow, check out library sales or little free libraries in your neighborhood. Just use what is available to you and what you can afford. So I just want to give that little disclaimer that sometimes I know we can watch these videos and we can feel like I need that specific book. It's amazing. But you can do all of the fun winter books or whatever subject that you want by going to your library, borrowing books, or just finding them for much cheaper. I do love to shop on thrift books too. I have picked up several on thrift books when I'm searching for a specific book. If you are looking for a specific book, even if it's not one of these, go ahead and check out the link down below. I will leave my referral link, or use someone else's referral link, but it is there if you would like it. You get some points towards a free book, and so do I. So that's there if you want it. If not, leave it. But I just wanted to say that before I showed you the next big stack of winter books that I have been collecting and thrifting for a couple of years now. I have Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. This is a Robert Frost poem that is illustrated. It's beautiful. I think this is a 5 in a row book as well. I have Katie and the Big Snow. The Story of Science Winter's Wonders. This was a pretty neat book. Over and Under the Snow. Beautiful pictures. Winter Poems. And Snowflake Bentley. Honestly, if I only picked a few books to do like a snowflake or winter unit study, then these 3 books would be perfect. The Over and Under the Snow, The Story of Snow, and Snowflake Bentley. These were awesome. They went together so well, and they just learned so much. So these are the rest of them that I'm just leaving in the basket. This is, what does this say? Kids Want to Know Animals in Winter. This is a National Geographic book. I thought this would just mainly be fun to look at the pictures. Arctic Babies. If You Take a Mouse to the Movies. The Snowy Day. Shh, Bears Sleeping. A Story for Small Bear. The Emperor's Egg. Hibernation. This is a level 2 reader. The Polar Bear. And The Mitten by Jan Brett. So those are all of the books that I had pulled out. And then I also have this cute little game. It's called Penguin Pile Up, and it's just this little game that's pretty fun. It's wobbly icebergs ahead. One by one, carefully pile your penguins onto the ice. As more penguins pile on, the iceberg becomes more and more unstable. Will your penguins keep their balance or fall into the sea? So it's just a fun little balancing game for penguins. So it seems to kind of go. So that's everything that is in our morning basket. Again, some of these things are for history, some of them are for science. Few things we will do every day. This is kind of just a placeholder for us to keep all of the books that go with our different subjects that we read in the morning, maybe we do it in the afternoon. And then I do keep a separate basket with all of those winter books that my kids can just get into during quiet time or whenever they feel like it. So I hope this was helpful to you. I hope that you will check out the blog post so that you can see all of the books that I've listed and any links if you are curious. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up.